without further ado, we'll delve straight into the keynote speeches. I'll introduce the first keynote speaker, who is a distinguished lecturer at the University of Media, Arts and Communication. He holds a PhD in communication from the University of South Africa. His robust academic foundation also includes a Master of Philosophy in Communication and Media Studies from the University of Education, Univa, and a Master of Arts in Media Management from the Ghana Institute of Journalism. His name is Dr. Martin Thompson Ntem. Let's give him a round of applause as we welcome him to deliver the first keynote address. And for those who have the booklet, you can find information about him on page 18 and page 19. You find the full profile there. Thank you very much. Doc, thank you so much.
So it's a presentation and not a speech. Thank you so much for the invitation and thank you for the gifts from the organizers. Almost every exercise we perform, you only get rewarded or awarded or given a gift after you are done with the performance. But for this conference, yesterday, most of us have received our gifts for the presentations we are yet to make. So I pray and hope that it will be worth it. Thank you so much. Also, I am very happy to have a call to present just after we call Antimani, the vice chair. My very first assigned student leadership, SRC, Grasa, presidency, and all that. My very first attempt, I'm very used to wait for the presentation. So when I'm ready, my very first attempt at public service, or let me say administrative, or public administration, was when I was a member of the University Government Council of the Ghana Institute of Journalism. And at that time, I served with, I was able to serve with the vice chair, who was also a council member, and at the same time, a member of the Council of State. So I had a lot to learn from here and other people. So thank you so much for grooming people like us. All right, the slide is up. So I am presenting on developing office systems, procedures, and processes. And I want to start by bringing us to understand the concept that is growing, the concept of the future of work. How many of us have heard about the future of work? Future of work. The future of work. And that's scary. The future of work is a concept that is growing. What it means is, on the future of work, the slide is not changing, please. Okay, that's right. The future of work is how work and employment are evolving in response to technological, social, economic, and demographic changes. What it means is that what used to be work that we knew, is changing. So many things are changing about work. And there is a school of thought that there is an increment in employment. There is an increment in work. And a decrease in what? Employment. We understand this. So more people are working, but they are not employed. The future of work must be important to us because it talks about how work is changing and how we must change and adapt accordingly. So in explaining the future of work, I will use three scopes. The first one is who does the work. The working landscape is changing. And one thing that is changing is who does the work. That's number one. Who does the work talks about who is engaged to do work for an organization. Those days, we have full-time people who wake up, go to work, and come back. That is what we used to do. But now, that is changing. Many organizations are employing what? Part-time people are working for organizations on a part-time basis. And it's a norm. I know some people with our skills, graphic designers, videographers, who do not even want full-time employment. They just want to work, take their money. And some of those people are working in what we call the gig economy. There's something growing called the gig economy. These are people who are like consultants. They come, they get a gig, they do it, they take their money, they leave. They are not employed, but they are working. And so a lot of people are doing that now. And sometimes a small gig or one gig you get in a day or two, can pay my salary for 6 months. So once they go and get one, they go and rest, they wait for another one. You understand? And a lot of those things are happening. Then we also have what we call crowdsourcing. These days, organizations are not even employing people directly. If there's a project, they call people come and work on the project. Once the project is over, everyone is gone home. That is growing. The next thing is when work is done. When and when work is done is changing. So these days, it doesn't matter where you are, you can work. I have seen some people with their laptops and they are working wherever they are. And that is changing, and we must adjust to that. So you can stay anywhere and work. I know so many companies like MTN Ghana. So when you call MTN and you want to log a complaint and somebody picks, hello, may I help you? 90% of them are working from home. They have the devices, they have whatever they need to work, and they are working from home. Once in a while, they report to show that yes, they are alive, they are still working, and then again, they are paid. So a lot more is happening in that space. So people are working from home, and people now have fluid work schedules. Administrators, they only need to work from home, maybe 2 days in the house, and then 5 days, 2 days in the house, and then 3 days in the office. Sometimes those of us in Accra, we spend 3 hours in traffic, come and work 3 hours and go back home. The time loss. So that can be planned. If you want to adapt, we can share roles and some people can work from home because that is where we are going. Sometimes meetings, 2-hour meetings, we have to come and all convey at one place. They will share what to all of us. All discuss. The next thing is how work is done. Future of work. How is work done? These days, work is not just being done manually. It's not just about your knowledge and your skills. It's about what you can do or what you can use to do that work. If you are here and you go for meetings, you come back and write minutes with your hand. Please, let's change. If you come back and you record an audio, you have to listen and you write it. That goes through. Because things have changed. We are now using AI tools, we are using robotics or office automation so that we can do some things quickly. If you are writing a report, you have to write everything by yourself. Things are changing. How work is done is being changed. We get it. So now I'm sure at least you know what we call it, future of work means. And it means that it is evolving. It means we keep changing. That's fine. Now coming back to the topic. Now because of all these changes, technological advancements, regulatory framework changes and all that, we must have great systems in the office. And the systems must be what? Adaptable. That is why we are discussing this. So you plan your system or you get ready for trouble. So I'm speaking on developing systems, office system or systems, procedures and processes. The first concept is systems. What are systems? So a system is a framework or set of rules that guide how things are done in an organization. The system is who we are as an organization or institution. The system is what we have. Who we are and what we have is a system. So who we are and what we have human beings, we have structures, we have a strategic plan. All those things are part of the system. Now, just like the human body, we have systems and we have subsystems. But in the school, you can call the subsystems also systems. So, as the human body, the human body is a system. Do we agree? Okay. Within the system, there are other systems, subsystems. Do we know? We have a digestive system, respiratory system, nervous system, So if you come to the office, an organization, we have a system, the bigger system of the organization. We have the structures, we have whatever. And we have subsystems within the organization. So we can say those subsystems are like the structures, like the HR is a system. They are performing a function. Communication, accounting and finance, IT, those are subsystems, but we can say they are systems. Because they are performing different functions to contribute to what? The success of the organization. So like I said, you take HR like this, it's a system. They have the functions. Now let's go down to the next. That is processes. So we know systems. Please, do we know systems? Alright, the next thing is processes. So if you understand that the whole system, the bigger system is organization. The subsystem, which we can also call systems, are the various structures or departments, directorates. Then what do they do to contribute to the success of the organization? What they do, the functions they perform are what we call processes. The processes are the specific actions performed by each system. Please have a get it. Actions, when you take HR, what are the processes or functions? Recruitment, onboarding, training, yes. So those are processes. When you go to account and finance department, what do they do? Working on invoices, paying salaries, writing of check, and like that. Those are processes, payment processes. So we have a system, a bigger system, and there are smaller subsystems. And these systems have functions we perform. Those functions are what we call processes. Please are we clear? Okay. The next one is procedure. We have a system, we have their functions or processes. The procedure is how those processes are undertaken. Please be clear. So if you take a function like HR and you say recruitment to the HR system is a system. The process, one of the processes is what? Recruitment. Now, what is the procedure for recruitment? It's a different thing. That is why we have a lot of issues. People set up systems, they give them responsibilities, even all of us, once we are employed, they give us a letter, our roles and responsibilities are there. But do we have anything in the organization that spells out how those responsibilities should be carried out? Those are the procedures. Because are we clear with the concepts? Are we clear? So when you take, and in the procedures, what must be done is that it must be laid out and clear for everybody to see. So you can see on the screen, that's like how we call a flow chart. So I'm sure when you go to the bank, they have a flow chart on how to log the complaint if you are satisfied. They say report to this, do this, they go say, that's a flow chart. Ideally, that's what we should have, for every department, for all the activities we do. So if you are a department or a directorate, you know your functions, what is next is the procedure. How do we do it? And it's very important that we spell out everything. So that once it is clear, going a bit political, the CJ versus the committee. Are you familiar with that issue? Somebody is saying in camera, not in camera, what does it mean? It has been written that it is in camera, it is in camera. Once the system is spelled out, it is clear, that's what we are doing. Please have a way. So that people will not do what they like. The systems are there. That is procedure. Please have a way with the three concepts. Alright. So the relationship, I said the system is who we are and what we have. The processes are what we do as a system. The system, what they do, their functions. Then the procedure is how we do it. That is, I said, where the problem is. The last one which is not part of my presentation, or which shouldn't have been part, is policies, the rules. So if you know this is how we do it, we follow some rules. So we have internal policies or external regulatory framework that should guide how things should be done. Alright. Now, why do we need systems, procedures, processes, and all that? It is to enhance efficiency. Once we know that this is the roadmap, if you want to recruit a new staff, these are the 9 steps you follow. It is clear. Once there is a vacancy, we know what we are following. It improves accuracy because you are not going to do trial and error because the steps are there for you. It also ensures consistency. Once we have systems laid out clearly, procedures stated, even if you are on leave or you're on retirement and somebody has to play your role, that person will be fine because the systems are there, everything is there, the procedure is there. You won't get it wrong. And if you are not there, you have to call somebody, the results you should get, the person should get the same result. And this can help the organization grow. Most importantly, it will boost compliance. Because if there are structured systems that we should follow, and these systems are guided by the internal policies or external policies, once you are following them, it means that we are doing what is right. Employees are empowered because we know what to do. And then customers are satisfied. So we are going to look at some few steps to develop systems. But first, key consideration. No two systems are the same. No organizations are the same. No two organizations are the same. So when you want to develop systems, you must look at your organizational needs. An organization may say that, okay, for us, we need 5 departments to function. Your organization may need only 3 departments, or you may need 7. So you must know what the structure should be. And budget is another thing. Once an organization can choose if they want to procure, put an advert in the newspaper, go through all that because they want to buy 5 printers or 1 printer, your organization cannot afford that. So you will look for the nearest shop, take 3 invoices and then pick one, that's all. Depending on what the law allows in your organization. So we must consider this thing before we create systems, processes, and procedures. So how do we develop systems? Now, I think it is safe to say that almost every organization has a system already. Per definition, right? Well, yeah, once you exist as an organization, you have structures, and if you have things you are doing, there's a system. But what we want to talk about is how we can improve the systems that already exist. Okay, how to improve, or we don't want to adopt a system elsewhere. Maybe you go to UCC or you are from UCC, you are now VC somewhere else, and you want to bring what your experience from UCC was to this place. Yes, there are times you need to develop. Is that okay? So we are really developing new things that we are really. The first thing here is to assess your organizational needs. So you may sit down and open the organization up for our policy. What structures do we have? Are they fit for purpose? What procedures or processes do we have? Can we change something? What are the bottlenecks? What are the pain? What are the problems that we are facing? They will come. Then you now know that this is the problem we have. Okay, salary payment takes too long. Why? Because 10 people have to sign. So what do? So you identify the problems, the gaps that are there. Then you define and design new structures. So you propose that, okay, why not do this? We are going to look at very soon how to do all these designs and this. So when we propose and say, why not do this? Why not go for this? Why not go for this? So we have in mind the new structures and their roles and responsibilities. So we have the new systems, there are new processes. Is that okay? So okay, you are this directory, you are this unit, this are the functions. Then, of course, adaptability. Whilst we are doing this, we need to integrate technology. How can this system use technology to make things faster? How can this unit use technology? What tools are available for them to use? We factor those things in. And then best practices at the same time. Then it is one thing setting up a unit or a department and giving them rules. It's another thing letting them know the procedure. So the functions we have given you, how should they perform it? That is number 4. Develop detailed procedure. If you want to launch complaint with this organization, you do it here. Yes, but how do you do it? What are the checklists? Before you complain, you must have evidence, have this. The checklist must be clear. The procedure must be clear. You list everything down. Number 5, documentation. I believe that a short pencil is better than a long memory. Do you agree? So once you go for a retreat, you are going for a retreat, you are doing this structure, we must codify everything, we must document everything. So that you don't come back in 2 years later, somebody will say, why did you watch to show me something that shows that this is how it should be done? So it must be codified, it must be written. That these are the new structures, these are their functions, this is how we execute the functions. It is clear for everybody to see. Once you document that, then you communicate to people. Communicate, maybe through trainings, open fora, you test the system, and you implement the system for the new changes you have. So it looks like a cycle, because once you are implementing, you are monitoring and evaluating. We look at what we should do to evaluate soon. So to see whether it is fit for purpose. Okay? Then the last one is once you are monitoring, you are reviewing, if there are new things that you must adapt, so you must leave it open. That as time goes on, you can say that every 3 years, every 4 years, every 2 years, we will come back at this and see what new things we can add or what we can change. Alright. I'm very sure the slide will be giving out. So this is a tool we can use for adaptation. So I said that almost all of us have systems already, but you want to improve your system. There is a concept theory called copy to China. Copy to China. So there are some people who believe that you must not reinvent the wheel. I mean, there are structures working for YouTube. There are structures working for this company. Why not go and pick that structure and then modify it so that it will suit us? So copy to China means that the Chinese, any invention you do in this world, they will wait for you to release yours. Once you are done, they will pick it, send it back, and then go and make their own version. And they come and sell it cheap. You understand copy to China. So we are going to use this tool to see how we can adapt or adopt systems or practices from elsewhere. And the Stamper tool is a model, it's an abbreviation. And I'll have the professor of mathematics to say, those days when you're doing board mass, you remember board mass? Brackets, off means what? Off means what? You say off means what? Okay, let's move. They didn't teach you. Bracket of division. Thank you. So I think we are moving the next room. We really hate maths like that. I really hate to get me like it. You see? Alright, so we are going to use the same concept here. So the first one is S. If you want to adopt, so let's say we are copying a system, a structure from another organization into our organization. We are going to apply this formula. Okay, so the S is substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another list, eliminate. So let's take it one by one. So you are going to borrow a concept from somewhere. You ask yourself, this whole structure of diagram, what can we substitute? Yeah, we are taking it from them, but we want to own it. What can we substitute? It's not compulsory to substitute anything, but you ask yourself, hey, can we substitute anything from here? This new program, or what we have now, can we change something? Maybe we've been doing a lot of letters, hard copy. Can we substitute that with emails? I am from a background, when we write, I can write a letter, a memo, sign it electronically, send it to my superior with attachment. When I get to the office, the admin person has already printed it out and printed all the attachments out, even if it's 100 pages. So what is the essence of having a system where I'm giving the thing to the person? You now print everything. So you ask yourself, can we try and be substituting the hard copy to this? Or how do you store data? Today, some organizations expire today, I don't know what will happen. Providing everything is paper, and it's in one room. Can we get time and scan all these things and put them in cloud instead? So what can we substitute? Exactly. Then we move to the next one, combine. What can we combine? Can we combine anything? So this is what has 6 departments. I don't think we can afford 6 departments. Can we combine 2 of the departments to get 1 and implement it? Can we combine 2 procedures so that it becomes 1? Okay, so you ask yourself, if yes, then you adjust. The next one is adapt. Even though we are bringing something foreign or we are bringing a strange concept, Is there something in-house that we can still keep and adapt and add to this new system so that we know that there is stability? The next one is what? Modify. What in this thing can we change? What can we just change? Just a little bit so that it becomes better. Put to another use. It's still part of the scalper. Is there anything that we can now use for something else? So of course, maybe if you now move for what can we put this thing to use? Please, do we get it? The next one is eliminate. Is there anything we can even eliminate at all in this whole procedure? 9 people signing my health claim. Why? Can we take 2 or 4 people out? Can we eliminate some structures so that the whole thing is straightforward? Can we reverse anything or any other? A typical example is what the NPP did recently in their system. So they used to vote grassroots and go and vote final what? Presidential. Now they have reversed the order. It's adaptation. Then they want to vote from the top and then come down. They have reversed the order. Is there anything we can do like that in our organization, whether the process or procedure? Maybe there is something that comes from the top, but we want it to come from the down. So you are reversing or rearranging. All right, thank you. So the next thing we are looking at is key principles for developing effective systems. 1, simplicity and clarity. It must be clear for everybody to understand. And then you must know that human beings are going to implement this. Okay? And then it must align with what? The organizational goals. The next one is flexibility and adaptability. We must always leave room for improvement. Always go back and use a scamper. Leveraging technology and always documentation. Now let's look at this picture if you can see it. Change can be difficult. Changing a system, developing a system, improving a system can be difficult. Sometimes because people may even be benefiting from the existing structure. And so people will resist it. There may be people who they call MBA. Do you know them? Baba Hache. And so they'll be giving you all sort of excuses. So you say there's a problem in this system. Things are not going well. They say, oh, but it has always been there. Don't worry. I mean, this is not new. It has been there. The next person will say, but this same system is what we have been using to win 4 awards in the past. I mean, what is wrong with this system? It's okay. Another person will say what? But you are complaining about here. Have you checked elsewhere? This is where so. The next person will say, oh, if you don't like this company, just find another place. So we must know that there are human elements in every system. And they will fight progress. They will fight adaptability. So we must find ways to bring them along. Whether through education, training, communication. Sometimes you can force them so that the organization will benefit at the end. Now, how do we know that our system is working or not working? How do we know that the new system or the current system is working or not working? The process cycle time. How long does it take to what? Achieve something? How long does it take to what? Achieve a process or procedure? The error rates. If it is clear, everything is written, the error will reduce. You are not going to now be trying things. But if there are errors, it will cost money, right? So if the rate of error has decreased, then it means the system is not bad. Employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, or stakeholder satisfaction. Then the costs as well. And then the level of compliance. Once you are complying, means that things are not that bad. Now, I'm ending. Few things, technology-wise, we can add to our systems. Deadlines and policy management. Either you use technology or you use policies. There must be a rule. If you are setting out your procedure, there can be a rule that so there are 9 steps. You can put there that no steps should last for more than 24 hours or 72 hours. Because let's assume that you are executing the steps are there, all right? It is clear. But it reaches the 9th or 8th step and somebody must sign and he refused to sign. What happens to that? The process is still stalled, right? There will be no progress. So we must say that, okay, if you receive this, in 48 hours, you must move it on. Some people will have memo on their table, forever is there, until you go back and say, oh, So there must be timeline, deadlines, that that if you have 9 steps, 2 weeks after you receive this complaint, 2 weeks after you receive this, 48 hours after this, you must move to the next level, whether you are approving or not. Even at the presidency level, when the bill is sent, you have some number of a period to say you are signing or you are not signing. If you are not signing, explain why you are not signing within a period, right? If not, we will have every system, but still things will not move because somebody will stall the process. That is one. Then document management, I've mentioned it. We should try and adapt to what? Cloud storage. Try as much as possible to keep things soft copy in the cloud. Rain falls by the cloud, nothing will happen to it in the cloud. You get it? So document management, identity and access management. Once you begin to do cloud, we must know who have access to what and who has access to what. You understand? So that no other person who is not authorized to have access to that system has it. Same way, cybersecurity is on the rise. So you must make sure that you are protecting your systems, especially your online systems, so that what you are not attacked. Workflow automation. If there are some things we can let the softwares do for us, let's let them do. Minute writing, account, invoicing, and all those things, so that we have time for other things. Communication and collaboration, like I said, people are here, some are here, some are joining elsewhere. Communication tools are there where we can use to collaborate. There can be one document. 4 of us can work on the same report. Once we use documents and you are editing, you are adding it. I am writing chapter 4. You are doing we are all writing on the same document at the same time. We can be home and be doing this, and it will move fast. So communication, project management tools to track how things are going. You get it? So there are a lot of things, office system and security, and then digital attendance. I don't know how you report to work, whether you sign manually or you do clocking. What do you do? Clocking. Some people sign, right? And so you see that people come to work 7:59. The next person 7:59.5. 7:59. Because but if it is a clocking system, we know when you came. Now when they are leaving, how do they write it? Maybe they can even leave and let somebody write it for them. But when you have that system, we know when you come to work and when you leave. And so we know how to, account for your productivity, right? So all these things are things we can use to adapt. The last one, whistleblowers, systems or tools. Those days we have suggestion boxes where we are encouraged to put things inside. Those we still don't have them sometimes, and sometimes people don't use them. You can just have an online form somewhere. Anonymous, anybody who has a complaint with the system. Transparency, let's open it up. If you have any issues, just drop it there. Don't add your name or anything, so that people can complain when things are going wrong. Thank you so much for listening.
Let's give another round of applause to Doc. Doc, you're a true teacher. You employed all the strategies teachers use to get... You realize that Doc spoke for more than 30 minutes, but it feels like he spoke for only 5 minutes, and we wanted him to continue. Let's give him another round of applause. Because the technicians say I should buy them sometimes, so I'm trying to buy time, so that they can organize themselves for the next presenter. But Doc did all the tricks that teachers do. We're in primary school, teachers, as part of their pedagogy, will try to teach us in ways that will make us remember. So, teacher goes to the classroom, holds something behind you and says, students, behind me, I am holding some green items. What are they? And students, these are green apples, because in the students' mind, he said, no, they are mangoes, but I like the way you are thinking. Then he put something behind him again and says, this time I'm holding something red. What is it? Then the students again, they are red mangoes. He said, no. These are red apples, but I like the way you are thinking. That pedagogy. Then there was this bad boy, stubborn boy in the class. as the teacher was using this, I like the way you are thinking style, he also got up and said, sir, I have a question. And he put his hand in his pocket. Sir, in my pocket, I'm holding something long and hard. Hey, before he finished, the teacher got mad. He said, you're a very bad boy. You want to spoil your other colleagues. I will report you to the headmaster. We'll call your parents for a conference. He says, sir, it is a pencil. But I like the way you are thinking. You know? We have Dr. Martin Thompson Ntem, one of our speakers. Please step down and receive this citation. The Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management Consultants Ghana appreciates your role as Speaker of the 2025 Annual Admin Professionals Conference. Your presentation on the topic Developing Office Systems, Processes and Procedures educated participants and has equipped administrators to ensure the office systems are efficient. Thank you very much. Next is Professor James Baba Abugiri, the Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management